So I want to get to know a little bit more about you guys, where you were coming from with your opinions and such. Where did you start gaming? Was it a PC? Was it a PS1, a PS2, like me, or something later? Do you guys prefer single player, multiplayer, the mix? What do you guys think? Shawn, I'm going to start with you because I know you have an extensive multiplayer background.
Yeah. Well, multiplayer speaking, I won't go into like single player at all. But like as far as multiplayer goes, I started like it started with like Turok 2 on the PC.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that is foreign beyond recognition. And then it eventually hopped to more recognizable games like I played a bit of RuneScape for a while, and that was sort of my introduction to MMOs. And then where it really took off, I got an Xbox 360 and Gears of War. Gears of War set it up for me. That's when I got Xbox Live. That's when I really started getting addicted to multiplayer. And I think that's when I changed. Like, I think I was pretty heavy single player. Before that, this was that definitive line. I was multiplayer junkie. Just from, whenever you're fighting someone else versus fighting a program, you just have that satisfaction when you know you've like mentally beaten them. It's so triumphantly great. And it sort of evolved from there, from Gears of War to eventually Uncharted and a few multiplayer games here and there. I played Guild Wars, and at least recently it's been The Last of Us and Uncharted 3.
Man, I want to play Last of Us so bad.
It really is great. You just got to try it out. It's a very unique multiplayer experience.
That is a good way to put it. Laura, why don't we come to you?
I didn't play a lot of video games before I got my very first Xbox, and at that time I was only playing like...
Had the original one?
Yeah, the original Xbox.
Oh,
original
yes.
Xbox, and I had like the craziest games that no one ever heard of, like Jet Set Radio Future and Blink the Time Sleeper, and like these really weird artsy games. I was always going for like the craziest, colorful, obnoxious games, and they were my favorite. The very first multiplayer I got was Call of Duty, and I actually had a really bad experience when I started playing because I'm a girl.
Exactly.
And I actually was one of those people who got harassed all the time for being a girl. Get back in the kitchen, really inappropriate jokes, lots of swear words being thrown at me, to the point where I stopped playing. Like, I was done. I gave up on multiplayers for years. Like, I started playing in high school, and then I gave up until very recently when I started getting back into like Battlefield and Call of Duty and stuff with my friends. And then I love playing Left 4 Dead with my friends. I know you already mentioned. Like, I like games where I can play multiplayer with my own friends. Just playing with like random dudes, there's always like weird 16-year-olds who feel the need to make girls uncomfortable.
They also like to use racial slurs and any curse they can figure out.
Literally. And I mean, the primary thing is to insult girls before any race, I feel like. So the fact that they find out I'm a girl is a big thing. I have to put on like my man voice. And I have a second account, like my sister and I share. We have a girl account and then we have a guy account. And the guy account, so we can play Call of Duty without being harassed, actually. But we really do, we like playing Call of Duty. I love playing with my sister. And I hope that with the multiplayer coming into different genres than just the war games, that I'll be able to play more multiplayer without being harassed by annoying 16-year-old boys. That's my dream.
I'm really sorry that happened to you, but I really do hope that with multiplayer expanding, that stuff stops, because it's ridiculous and antiquated and awful. Naj, we're gonna come to you.
See, now, I had the unfortunate experience of getting on a multiplayer train on Call of Duty, and I wish that didn't happen, because now I'm just, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the first-person shooter genre. It's just like repeat after repeat after repeat. Like, every year there's a Call of Duty, not a Battlefield. They haven't annualized Battlefield yet, and I hope they don't. And I just think that there needs to be a switch up of some sort. Like, I don't know, maybe more multiplayer for third-person shooters. And I really believe that Watch Dogs and that multiplayer it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, just released a couple hours before we shot this. Watch Dogs has been confirmed to have 8-player free roam multiplayer.
Which I'm so excited for that.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, the war game genre is just it's like beating a dead horse to me. I mean, what do you guys think about that?
I agree. This is gonna be really embarrassing. Heroes of Might and Magic 3 with my father when I was like 5 years old. I started with multiplayer games.
That's a curveball.
Yeah, I started with multiplayer games, but multiplayer games that you had to be in the same room for, where you hot seated, like the Civilizations, Masters of Orion. Oh, I feel old. But as I got older, I did start getting into online gaming. I played WoW for about 6 years, had a really good friend group on there. I was just talking to someone about how I had a lot of friends in high school that I didn't actually know. They were all through WoW and online, and I was okay with that until society was like, that's weird, bro. You gotta change that. And then, I really started to get into consoles I had a PS2, but I got into it with Gears of War on the Xbox 360. I remember going to buy that game, and it was like a year after it came out. And I go into Best Buy to buy it, and they ask for an ID because it's an M-rated game, and I didn't have a beard at the time.
I remember those days like it was yesterday.
And I looked 5 years old. So my mom, who was in the car, I had to walk out and go, "Hey, Mom, I need you to buy this for me."
Oh yeah.
And then I had to have the great embarrassment of having my mother buy a game. Like, "It's okay, little one." And she was here on me, just like pat, pat, pat. So, Naj, you asked an interesting question, and I want to come back to that.
Okay.
Where do you guys stand? Ask your question again.
Which question?
The one that I hijacked to talk about me, and then you finished yours.
Oh, what do you guys think about the war game, the first-person shooter?
Yes.
I'm so sick of it. I mean, obviously my experience with it was tainted in some ways, but in general, I feel like they have really just beaten that horse to death. I mean, that is just, I don't, like, I have friends that all they do is play those games, and there's just like a giant stack of these games, and I'm like, don't you get bored of it? There's some people that aren't bored of it, but I'm bored of it. I'm done. I don't care.
I think I differ a decent bit from you. I don't know what your thoughts are, Noel, on it, but I still play Call of Duty every once in a while. It's not like I'm looking forward to a few of my friends. We're gonna start getting into our PS4s more, and they're gonna buy Call of Duty Ghosts, and we're gonna have a good time on that for a while. Although I do notice the novelty value is shrinking as far as my entertainment goes, where I find myself being less entertained quicker with it. Like, it sort of hits that drop-off point where I'm like, okay, this isn't fun anymore. I want to stop playing.
And I think games like Call of Duty they're getting sloppy. Like, you can see it in the mechanics, like where if it's like an aimbot or something like that, people glitch the system, and that's why I can't stand multiplayer gaming now, is because someone always finds a way to cheat the system, and it makes me want to throw my controller across the room. And it's just, that's why I'm more of a casual gamer. I enjoy sitting back and enjoying the story, and getting to know the characters a little bit more. But when you have to get to know real people and their tendencies online and what they will do just to get a W or raise their kill death ratio, it gets ugly.
Yeah, it does get ugly.
Absurd at times.
That's the next question I wanted to ask you guys. You clearly are not a competitive gamer.
I'm not, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think. It's just that people, I think younger people, they don't understand the value of a good story. And I just think that if the gaming industry keeps putting out these first-person shooters that are clones of one another, I just think that we lose that story, that narrative that built what games are today.
I completely agree. How about you guys? Are you guys competitive gamers? Do you care about the win-loss, or are you just in it to have fun?
I have to say, I'm not the best gamer in the wide world, so I can't actually be that competitive because I'm not that great. I only just started doing multiplayer again, so I'm really bad. I'm super bad. But I actually have like a really good friend of mine. He plays like professional Call of Duty, I guess. Like, he wins money, and he plays, like, he has to practice every day. So I know people who are like that, and I guess I respect him. I don't know, but like I'm certainly not like that, and I don't understand it, I guess, getting so ridiculously passionate about it. The way you were describing people like doing anything to win, including cheating, and like it just doesn't feel right to me. I feel like that's a bit intense.
Now, don't get me wrong. When I get in my zone on a first-person shooter game, I'm in my zone. Like, with me and my roommates, back when Black Ops 2 was still, it's still popular now, but back when it was still in its prime, we would sit there in our rooms and just split screen on 2 different TVs and get in the same lobby and just like what?
Go to town.
Go to town.
crazy
Just
on people.
race to see who get the best KD. And listen, I mean, it's nothing wrong with being competitive. I'm just saying that I just think this generation is just losing sight of what built video games today, and that's a good story with a nice lengthy narrative that can extend the game other than multiplayer. Multiplayer shouldn't be the only thing that can extend a game's lifespan.
Right. How about you, Shawn?
As far as being competitive, I used to be very competitive with Gears of War. Like I made a few YouTube like sniping montages and stuff. I was very
Who are
serious.
those people?
I was in that group of people. I'm so
Like, share, subscribe, man.
I
Like, share,
would
subscribe.
like, comment, and subscribe.
Oh, good lord.
But it's just like I was so addicted to being like really good at it. I even wanted I had thoughts of doing that MLG sort of like being a professional Gears of War player. I saw people doing it. To get paid with that'd be incredible. But then as time went on, I grew older. I just kind of stopped caring about winning to the point where like I see these people getting angry over every match, and that was a part of it. I was so angry. I have like at least 5 broken Xbox controllers, countless headsets. I was cranking money into this in an unhealthy manner. So like I think actually it was when Black Ops 1 came out and I was getting very mad at that. I realized I'm like, it's not worth it anymore. And since then, I'm incredibly casual, like to the point where I fall asleep when I'm playing multiplayer and I get shouted at, and the match is over and I'll wake up and start it again and nod back off.
I feel your pain. I've broken. Mainly, it's with headsets with me. I'll just get up and just crush them, and then later, I'm sad and I have to super glue.
Well, they're like the first target. Like
yeah,
it's the
exactly.
first thing on your head, the first thing you can grab to just.
It's like being a
take your
football
anger
player
out.
and just taking your helmet off and just throwing it on the ground. So
They need to just give
Those
us.
aren't. I think they designed them on purpose to break when you.
Oh
do
yeah,
them.
they do.
I know it.
I had a headset that headsets were decently expensive when the Xbox 360 first came out.
Yeah.
And Call of Duty 4 had an amazing multiplayer, but I would get so angry that every 5 steps you'd get just hit with a sniper round. And I broke this headset and I couldn't buy a new one for like a year. So I had to take a wool knit cap and stick the mic underneath and tape it there.
Oh, that's amazing.
hashtag the struggle.
until the foam wore out, so I just had the plastic cutting into my ear, and it'd be like the summer, the air conditioning was on, but it was still hot, and it just blew a wool cap, and my parents
The
would come over
imagery.
and go,
See, this is why it's nice to be a girl. You just buy a headband. Then when I broke one, I just put it on a headband, just duct taped, and I was like ready to go.
I play Battlefield almost every night with a couple friends, but it's just get in there, blow off some steam, just be general idiots, like put landmines on your helicopter and go, all right, let's see who gets shot first. And fly around with people trying to shoot your landmines and just like, all right, I feel fun.